Welcome to episode 10 of Take the Trip with Us, where you get to hear from travel professionals who have experienced destinations firsthand. So today I have Sara Turner, and she is live from Jamaica, which is so awesome. You're there at Sandals Royal Plantation.
Mhm,
Sara actually has been in the travel industry for 20 years. She's got two
mhm.
children and a husband who get to travel with you sometimes, but not always, I know.
Mhm.
Today, you're enjoying the beach there and the island, and that's so awesome. You
Love
used to
it.
work for Disney, so I know that's
Yep,
given you a
mhm.
lot of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really want to hear today, what was it like getting into Jamaica with the new safety protocols with COVID-19?
Mhm.
We're in the middle of this pandemic. What was that like for you?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm getting it a lot, from clients and from travelers in general lately. What does the travel atmosphere look like in the United States, and especially going outside of the country? Because it seems that a lot of folks have this fear of stepping outside of the United States right now, and so what I've been trying to do is to get out, take lots of videos and lots of pictures, and do those Facebook Lives to help people understand that there certainly are ways to travel outside of the country and especially to Jamaica in a safe and really fun way. Of course, this is COVID times right now, so there are lots of different protocols that are in place and things that we have to adhere to. But we know that it's all for the safety of us and for those around us. And so those are all great policies that have been put in place to keep us all safe.
So did you have stuff though before you got to Jamaica? Like, did you have to
Hmm. Yes,
apply
I did.
online or what was that like?
Yeah. So I think another challenge that folks are having is they want to travel, but how do they do it? So, what I found, what is best to do is to begin that research early. Number one, enlist the help of a travel agent because it is our specialty to assist you in these types
Absolutely.
of travel desires. So, step one, contact your travel agent, let them know where you'd like to go, and then use their advice and recommendations of where you can travel to safely, and they can pull from their own personal experience or from their large network of agents to provide you with that firsthand or secondhand knowledge. So for Jamaica specifically, the first thing that I did was I looked to see what travel restrictions are in place right now and what protocols are in place. So what I'm finding to be very common for a lot of Caribbean island countries like Jamaica, many of them are open to United States visitors right now. It's safe to say that regardless of what island you visit at this point in time, that you'll need to have a COVID-19 test. Um, and not just a COVID-19 test. You'll have to have a COVID-19 test done within a certain window of time before you arrive in that country. So with Jamaica, currently at this time, the requirement is that you have a COVID-19 test within 10 days of your arrival date. So for me,
Okay.
I set my calendar 10 days before I got here with a reminder, get online, schedule an appointment to get that PCR. That's important, a PCR COVID-19 test. And then once those results came back, then I had to upload that information into a website that was designed. I can't recall if it was the Jamaica Tourist Board or if it was a Jamaican government
Yes, I think
organization.
it's the Jamaican Tourist Board. Yeah, I think it
Okay,
steps you through everything really easily
it
and really
absolutely
nice.
does. Yes. So COVID-19 test was required. Secondly, filling out that travel authorization form so that Jamaica knows you're coming. They know that you've been safely tested and they can track you in the event of needing that contact tracing information.
Okay.
So those were the two big things that were required, beside, of course, the passport. That's always required to travel internationally.
Right.
Yep.
So then getting there, getting through like the airport and all that, was there
Yeah.
anything else extra? Because I know you've been to Jamaica before,
Yeah.
so is there anything
I
extra
have.
that you
Oh my gosh, I love Jamaica so much. And I think it's important to think about when you travel what makes it so special. For me, with Jamaica, it is kind of everything I could want, right? It is gorgeous views, it is hospitable, very nice people, genuinely caring and nurturing to their visitors. And then even gracious hosts too. But the views, the food, my goodness, that Jamaican jerk chicken, those beef
I
patties,
know.
the fruity drinks along the beach. My favorite would be a Miami Vice, half pina colada, half strawberry daiquiri, frozen. You must try it. The food is important. And then the ease of travel, I think, is important too, especially for folks who just want to get away for a little bit, to maybe do a longer weekend getaway. It's great that Jamaica is a short airplane ride from the United States. So
So
for so for
yeah,
me, I
going
live in
into Montego Bay. You flew into
Mhm.
Montego Bay.
Yep. So for
Okay.
me, I live in Florida, about an hour from Orlando, and so it was a 2-hour flight to get from Florida, boom, to Montego Bay, Jamaica. So if you want, I can tell you about that experience a little bit.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd love to
So
hear it. What was I haven't honestly I
yeah.
haven't been on a plane because I've been driving. So I haven't
Oh,
been on a plane recently. I
yeah.
know, it's crazy.
Okay. I've been on a few planes recently, and this is what I have observed. Um, when you originally work with your agent to get that trip booked, what you'll notice is that the airline itself will start to kind of bombard you with their protocols. The resort typically will do that as well. You know, these are the changes that we put in place to keep you safe, from in the airplane pumping in that cabin cleaner to requiring face masks the entire time you're on that flight. When you're in the airport, sanitation stations all over the place. You really can't go 10 feet without finding hand sanitizer somewhere. So those are the main things that I find at the airport. I've also found that the lines for customs, but also the line just to check in for your flight, those are much longer right now because it's taking those airline employees time to check that each passenger has those requirements for the countries they're visiting already taken care of. So I had to show proof at the airport that I had that COVID-19 test, and I had to show proof that I had filled out that travel authorization form. And I'm pretty sure I showed it and was forced to sanitize every 2.5 seconds. I mean,
Oh,
they're very, very strict about it. What seems to ring true to me in my flight travel and my international travel here more recently is that no matter where you're going, these businesses that you're encountering along the way, whether it be the car rental, the airport, the airline, the stewardesses on the airplane, at the resort, the front desk staff, the housekeepers, everywhere you go, each company has their own very detailed set of protocols designed to keep you safe. And so it leaves me feeling in the places I've visited like I'm in this bubble of safety and sanitation. I feel very, very, very clean all the time. But that's important. That's what we need as travelers right
yes.
now.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. So you feel comfortable. And I was going to say, I just read an article this morning. It said on airplanes, which I didn't realize, the way the I guess that the HEPA filter works or something,
Oh,
it changes the air inside an airplane every 6 minutes. It's entirely freshened and
that
goes
is
through
true.
filtration. So I thought that was really interesting. That makes me feel better because we've got a long flight coming up to
Uh-huh.
Hawaii next month. So
Yes. So I always, as I'm flying here more recently, of course, I pick out my like 3 or 4 best, most comfortable face masks because I know that I'm going to be wearing them. And of course, if you need to take a breath, just pull it down for a second, give yourself a moment, and then put it back on. Because sometimes it can get to be a little bit annoying to have it on your face so often.
sure.
But I feel like that's the life that we're living right now, anyways.
Right.
But
You're
what
right.
rings true, no matter where I'm visiting, is I feel like I'm in that bubble of safety between all of those companies, the car rental agencies, the the resorts and airlines.
So
Um,
what are you seeing then? So you got, because it's Sandals, you got to the airport, they took
uh-huh.
you complimentary transportation,
They did.
whisked you off to Royal Plantation. I know that's so nice right now too, because you're not having to feel like I have to find a ride. I mean, Sandals has their
Yeah.
own lounge, so you are well taken care of.
Yeah. Well taken care of. And I just want to pan for a minute and show you this
Oh
incredible view.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
spectacular. Sandals is one of my favorite all-inclusive resort
oh.
properties. And I say that because Sandals really sets themselves apart in terms of their levels of service. So I feel like when I'm at a Sandals property, I feel more so as though I am taken care of every moment of the way. Um, and let me give you an example. First of all, when I first arrived at the airport in Montego Bay, I didn't have to step outside the airport and try to find someone to take me to my resort because Sandals had already arranged it for me. And this would be done through your travel agent too. There's just outside of customs, just beyond customs in the Montego Bay Airport, Sandals has an arrival lounge with cushy chairs, bright, beautiful furnishings, and drinks
Drinks.
and snacks. So what more do you want besides that, and probably a bathroom when you've been on an international flight? That to me is the first indication that you are going somewhere where you're going to be well taken care of. From that point, I went right outside. They had arranged a private driver for me in this situation to take me right to my resort. And then when I got here on the resort, the first thing they did was open the door for me and welcome me to Jamaica, and then kindly request that I apply hand sanitizer because just every step of the way, it's a sanitizing thing. Another example, though, of their level of service is last night, I'm here with a friend, and so we were talking to another couple during their evening entertainment session it's kind of an English themed lounge. So this couple was telling us that in their experiences visiting Sandals, they like to request certain things. And one of those is a beachside private lunch. So my friend and I looked at each other and, oh my goodness, 1 second. I just realized they brought me a drink.
Aw,
How's that for service? How is that for service?
that's awesome. You're making me jealous here.
What a doll. Thank you so much.
This one is the this one is the mango colada.
The mango colada. Okay.
So
Thank you.
Inside, and we pour the mango colada on it. So that's why I have a green and yellow flavor.
How refreshing does that look? Thank
Wow.
you.
A bottle of water for you.
Oh my, it's so fruity and cold and refreshing. Just
I'm
what
so
you need when you're
jealous.
sitting by the beach. Okay, watch this. Notice how he's handing me a straw, but he's pulled the wrapper down ever so much so that I can grab the paper straw myself. It's the details like that that are so important.
And a bottle of water right here.
And a bottle of water. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
Romaine. I appreciate you.
Aw,
All right, enjoy yourself.
thank you for
Look at
taking
the water
care of her.
bottles.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
Sandals labeled water bottles, and they're locally sourced. These are from a spring here in Jamaica. I love that.
Oh my goodness. So is that something
Yes.
new though, that they're doing the water bottles right now?
I feel like, oh gosh,
I feel like it is.
I'm not sure, but I totally dig it. I love it.
Yeah,
What
that's
I wanted
great.
to tell you was that last night we talked to a couple in the lounge. Long story short, I called our butler, and I do have a butler on this trip. This is that's something very special about this resort, is that we have a butler assigned to us to take care of our every need. So we called our butler on our dedicated cell phone directly to our butler
Oh my
and
goodness.
said, "Gosh, this couple is telling us about that they can have some sort of meal arranged privately." And the butler says, "Oh yes, I will take care of you. Where would you like to have your meal?" "Okay, how about on the beach?" "Great choice. Let's have it there. What would you like to eat?" Well, we heard the lobster is good. We'd like to try lobster." "Absolutely. We have 2 kinds of lobster. We will have it prepared specially for you." And I said, I was feeling a little pampered at that moment. And so I said, talking to my butler, I really like sea scallops. Is there any chance you have scallops here on property? And the butler said, "I'm not sure, but I will talk to the chef about that." And my response was, "If you can't get it, it's okay. Don't worry about it." And the butler said, "No, ma'am, we don't say no. We will talk to the chef about your sea scallops."
Oh.
And I thought, my goodness, they really make you feel like you are the one person in their life that they have to take care of. It's incredible.
Wow.
He said, "At Sandals, we do not tell people no. We don't say no." My goodness.
Oh,
So-
wow, Sarah.
That is not something that you will find at other even higher end resorts, because Sandals it's a 5-star luxury included is their whole philosophy. So you get here, you put your wallet and your money in your in-room safe, you lock it there, and you leave it there, because everything is included, even the scuba diving trips and the snorkeling trips. It's incredible. So
Wow.
I could go on, but I'm sure you have more questions.
I know, that's okay. So the last thing I wanted to ask you about was safety protocols that are in place right now
Yeah.
on the resort. I mean, obviously with the straw that you just showed us, are there some other things that you feel have definitely changed from the last time you were at a Sandals resort?
I think it is a general aggressive awareness of the importance of sanitization. That's the vibe, right? But aside from that, from the moment that you're greeted in that Sandals lounge at the airport, you are sanitized. You have your mask on already. You're familiar with that. But they have this whole program that's called the Platinum Protocol of Cleanliness here at Sandals, and it's a very aggressive system of keeping germs away. So in the lobby, it was normal to have a sanitizing station in the lobby of the resort. Now you'll find them strategically all over the resort. But Sandals takes it a step further. They say, we don't want you to have to push down the lever to pump out your hand sanitizer. No, we've created this incredible display where you use a foot pedal to pump out the hand sanitizer, so you're not touching the device.
The top,
right?
of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
That's one thing. I have noticed that the moment you sit down, if you sit down at a table and you just want to have a glass of water, then when you get back up, they're going to thoroughly clean that table, that chair, take away that tablecloth, and make it entirely fresh and new again. I feel like they're using a lot more tablecloths, a lot more linens. Let's see what else.
What about sitting out like by the beach and walking around the resort? It looks like right now nobody's there. So I'm assuming that people are distanced enough that you feel very comfortable and you can take your mask off when you're away from other people.
Yeah, and that's important. That's another reason why your travel agent can be very helpful to you, because in times like this where distancing can really help keep you safe, it's not wise, in my opinion, to choose a resort where it is very crowded, and because I've been to many, and it tends to be, in my opinion, those that are more on the value or budget line of in terms of cost. I find that those tend to be very crowded, very full of people, hundreds of people in that same pool. But now is a better time than ever to maybe put a little savings aside, treat yourself, spend a little bit more on your accommodations, because in those 4 and 5 star properties is where you'll find them to be much less busy and with lots and lots of spaces to distance yourself, so that when you're at the beach, you can be perfectly distanced without having to have a mask on, because there's just no one around. And that's actually a big benefit of traveling during this time, is that a lot of the resorts aren't at full occupancy. They're not allowed to be, or they know that they're not ready for that just yet. So now is the time to get out there and travel, really treat yourself, since it's been a stressful year for all of us. And take advantage of the low occupancy at a lot of these really gorgeous resorts and make some incredible memories and turn 2020 around.
That's what I say. Oh, I'm so glad. Well, I hope folks listening, will give you a call and let you help them, because Sara, I know you travel so much and you've got so much experience with all this stuff. So I really respect everything that you are seeing and doing, and I appreciate you talking with us today, and everybody listening. So please tune back in with us, because we continue to bring you all this information, especially right now, during the pandemic, about places that you and your family may want to visit. So hear our stories, learn our tips and tricks, things we've found useful. Keep dreaming about your next adventure. So thank you. Until next time, keep
Cheers
dreaming.
to you from Jamaica.
Oh, woo!